5 important habits of microdosers. Let's talk about them right now. Hey there, Dr. Dave, how are you? I've got a great video for you today. I've got some really good information. If you want to take notes, do that. If you want to replay this over and over, but there's some 5 things I want to share with you that I do and that other microdosers do. When I say microdosing, I'm talking about microdosing magic mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms. 5 things that I do that my microdosing without these things would probably not be nearly as successful. Microdosing is not just a matter of popping a pill or drinking some mushroom tea and hoping for the best. It's not a pharmaceutical like that. You can take an antidepressant and not really think about it. But with magic mushrooms, you've got to put the work into it. And when a lot of people say that, but maybe a lot of people don't understand what that means. What does it mean to put the work into it? So I'm going to share everything with you right now, the work that I put into it. Before I get started, I just want to share, why am I wearing this hat? It's April. It's the end of kind of mid to late April. The reason is because I had some sunspots, some dark spots removed by the freezing. They freeze them off of you. And so if I took this hat off, I would have like all these weird, because it gets worse before it gets better. So I would look just horrible, and I would not want this to be out in the public domain with me with these stupid, crazy spots all over the place. So I'm going to wear my hat until these things heal up a little bit, and it's all going to be fine. Yeah, I've been through this. I've been through some dermatological things. I've been through my surgical procedure last week. Yeah, I'm getting everything done. I'm going to be like in great shape soon. Okay, let's get into the 5 right now. The first one is journaling. You've all heard about journaling. Some of you do it, some of you don't. Some of you don't understand it. Some of you don't know like how to do it, how to start, when to do it. So I don't want to make it difficult, or I don't want to make it complicated. In my life, I try to keep things really, really simple. You know, follow the KISS rule. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. So this is my journal. I carry it with me pretty much wherever I go. I have a pen with me, and when a thought comes to my mind, I always just write it down. It's kind of like a diary, but not exactly a diary. It's thoughts. It's things that I want to do, things that I want to improve. And so before I started microdosing, I had a list of things that I wanted microdosing to help me with, and I listed them all in my journal just from memory. The easy ones were easy ones. I want help with my depression. I want help with my anxiety, my PTSD, insomnia. I also added things such as I want to be kinder to people. I want to be more forgiving. I want to be more understanding. I don't want to judge people as easily as I do. So I wrote down a lot of stuff, and I didn't just write it, but I read it over and over and over again. These are the things that I want to improve in my life through microdosing. Even without microdosing, journaling really, really works. It's a great thing to do. Now, throughout the year of microdosing, I've been making notes. I write down how I feel. I write down successes. I write down things that maybe didn't succeed as much as I'd like them to, or maybe, let's say, for example, I want to be kinder to people. I don't want to prejudge people, but there was somebody in a restaurant talking loud. I'm just making this up, but there was somebody in a restaurant talking loud next to me, and I got all pissed off at him. But I would write that down. I would write that down because it's something that I want to improve, which I wasn't able to do. I had a failure, or something didn't work as well as I wanted it to, so I would write it down. Journal, write down your thoughts, write down your improvements, write down what you want to do, write down where you are. There's no right or wrong with journaling. It's not like an exact science that you have to follow a certain outline. No, it's your journal. It's your book. You can write down whatever you want, but journaling is, in my mind, in my estimation, in my opinion, journaling is super, super important. That's why I put it as number 1. These are not in really any order. It's not like number 1 is more important than number 5 that I'm going to give you. They're all super important, or I would not have them on the list. There are many more than these 5, but these are the 5, I'd say maybe things that came to my mind right away, and perhaps the 5 most important. There could be some things I'm omitting or forgetting about, but I will pick those up in a later video if you'd like me to. The second one is meditation and or breathing exercises. And they kind of go together, because when you're meditating, you're also breathing. And again, there's no right or wrong. There's not just one way to meditate. There's not just one way to breathe to reduce anxiety or to relax more. But meditation is basically sitting in a room or laying down, it doesn't matter, just a comfortable position, and trying to free your mind of all thoughts. Meditation is not the time that you start kind of obsessing or thinking about your successes and failures and how you can improve. Now, meditation is kind of a time where you want to empty your brain totally if you possibly can. You can listen to music, you can repeat a mantra, which is just kind of like a word or several words over and over and over again as you're breathing. Again, there's no right, there's no wrong. Some ways of meditation work better for others, and then other ways don't work for some. And so you have to kind of get your own technique down. But just keep in mind, you can't fail. As long as you try to meditate, you are succeeding because you're doing it. And you might not be doing it the way somebody else is doing it, but you're doing it. Praying could be meditation. Sitting down and playing the piano in a way that could be meditation, the guitar, any kind of musical instrument. Sitting with a pet for a half an hour, just being quiet and breathing, that could be meditation. You can meditate in your own way. Breathing exercises oftentimes are added to meditation. And I've told you all, if you've been following me for a while, I've told you all about the sound bath that my wife and I go to every Tuesday evening. And it's basically a room, like a kind of a meditation type room where we all just lie down on the floor, and the leader is playing these wonderful, I'm going to show you. Let me show you what she does. So, okay, so this, what I have right now with me is a crystal sound bowl. It's big, it's heavy. We have smaller meditation singing bowls that are made out of metal. I want to show you this because it probably gives the best effect. But so imagine this person in front of the room having an array of these bowls, and she's playing all of them, and this wonderful sound is coming from them, like this. And we are just laying down, immersing ourselves in what we call a sound bath of all these wonderful sound frequencies, and it's a way of meditation. So again, find your groove. There's no right or wrong. There's not just one way to do this. There's not just one way to meditate. Try many different ways maybe and see what you like, see how they work for you. As far as breathing exercises go, there are many different types. One type of breathing is just to simply close your eyes or keep your eyes open. It doesn't matter. Just breathe through your nose, in and out slowly. Emptying your mind as you do it. It's better to breathe through your nose during breathing exercise. It's actually better to breathe through your nose at all times because it your body makes nitric oxide, which is a chemical that really does relax your brain, relax your body. There's a lot of benefits to nasal breathing. Another type of breathing pattern is called the 4-7-8. So what that means is you breathe in. I prefer to do it through my nose again. Breathe in for a count of 4 seconds. Then once you do that, hold it for 7 seconds. And it doesn't have to be exact, but you can count to yourself. And then breathe out. Breathe out can go through your mouth or nose for 8 counts, 8 seconds. So it would be something like this. I won't be able to count at the same time, so I'll probably just use my fingers. But so breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, then breathe out for 8. So I'm breathing in. I could have kept going out, but you get the point. 4, hold for 7, breathe out for a count of 8. It's very, very good, calming, relaxing breathing. It's a good part of meditation. Another type of breathing exercise is Nada Shohana, something like that. I can't remember the exact Sanskrit words, but it's alternate nostril breathing. There's a technical way to do it. I actually just use my thumb and index finger. That's not really the way. If you read the textbooks, that's not the way, but it doesn't matter. All you have to do is you want to cover one nostril as you breathe in. And after the in-breath, you want to switch nostrils. So I cover with my index finger and breathe out. So you're always switching nostrils after the in-breath. That's very important. After the in-breath, you're switching. Anyway, all the meditation and breathing techniques, pick one or pick several that you like, try them. They really will work well in conjunction with microdosing. Number 3 is eliminating toxicity, eliminating as much toxicity from your life as you possibly can. Toxicity come in many forms. We all know about it. I'm going to recommend eliminating toxic food, which means limit the amount. I'm not saying you have to wipe it all out, but limit the amount of sugar and caffeine and alcohol and processed foods and just crap. Limit it to as much as you possibly can. I promise you, if you're able to do this and eat healthier foods in their places, you will feel much, much better. There's no question in my mind. Limit toxic thoughts. If you're thinking something bad, notice it, recognize it. Don't punish yourself, but just switch thoughts to something more positive. Eliminate toxic people from your life. I'd say over the past 5 years, I've made it a point to distance myself from people that were adding toxicity and not adding positivity to my life. People that were not, I just felt like people that were not vibrating on the same frequency as I was. That does not mean they're bad people. It just means that they weren't good for me. And I could smell these people. I could sniff them out. It's very easy for me to sniff these people out. And same with you. Just distance yourself. You don't have to write them a letter and say anything. Just distance yourself from them. When you do that, and even if it's a family member, if there's a toxic family member, there's no law that says just because they're family, you have to hang around them. Distance yourself, and you will get, again, eliminating the toxicity from some of these people. It could be really, really toxic. The next thing I'd like you to eliminate the toxicity from is the news. There's a lot of craziness from, we thought COVID was bad, and COVID was pretty bad, but now we're talking about a war between Russia and Ukraine. We're talking about craziness in this world that's like never ending. Don't obsess yourself with the news because it's mostly negative. It's horrible stuff out there. Watch it when you can or read it when you can, but don't obsess over it. Know what's going on to the extent that you're not like turning a deaf ear, or you're not ignoring everything, but get just enough so you know a little bit about what's going on, but don't let it rule your life, and because it will turn you toxic, I promise you, because the news is just, it's crazy out there. So we don't need it. We don't need it. Just know enough. Don't immerse yourself in it. Number 4 is moving your body. No matter how much microdosing you do, no matter how much journaling, meditation, all this stuff, your body needs to be moved. So get out there, whether it's just walking or running or biking or skating or skiing or hiking, whatever it might be, move your body. Try to do it every day, but you don't have to do it every day. But if you do it maybe 4 to 5 times a week, get outside if you possibly can. It's better outside when done outside. Half hour at a time, 45 minutes, an hour, but whatever you can do, this will really help you, I promise, in conjunction with your plant medicine regimen. The last thing I'll mention, and like I said, there are probably more, but I can't touch on everything. These are the five important habits of microdosers. Sleep. Sleep is super, super important. Take it from me, I've learned a lot about sleep over the past couple of years. I was actually diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea about several years ago. I treat myself for it. I use a CPAP. When you get good sleep, when you get enough sleep, and enough sleep for most adults is simply 7.5 hours of really good, steady sleep per night. Sound sleep. When you are able to get that, then you will find everything comes into play, and your microdosing will definitely work much better. If you've got horrible insomnia, if you can't get to sleep, or if you wake up in the middle of the night multiple times and can't get back to sleep, that's a problem. And microdosing should help. It helped me, but there could be other things going on, such as sleep apnea, other reasons why you're not sleeping, and so you need to look into those. But a good night's sleep every night is really, really important. Okay, so I've given you the 5 important habits of microdosers. I hope you take these seriously. They really do work, and they really do work in conjunction with the microdosing. If you have any questions, give them to me in the comments. I'll try my best to answer everything and anything that I can. Remember, I am Dr. Dave, but this is not to be taken as medical advice, friend talking to friend, and I think we got a lot done today. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're here to the end, thank you so much for sticking with me. You're one of the ones that's going to be ultra successful. I can basically promise you that. Okay, till next time, Dr. Dave, see you soon.